All right, welcome back to another episode of The Elephant Effect. It's your boy Stone.
Your girl, Lady M.
Back with another episode in the alignment series. All right, in this one, your future is waiting on your alignment. So if you're ready, lock in, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the Alignment Series. Again, as mentioned, this is episode 3. Episode 3 is your future is waiting on your alignment. So let's get aligned. Don't keep your future waiting. You're not stuck. You're just out of sync with the version of you that the future needs. Come on.
Right.
You're not stuck. You're just out of sync with the version of you that the future needs. The future needs you. Moving right into topic 1. Stuck isn't always about stagnation. It's about misalignment. Feeling stuck is often a sign that you've outgrown where you are. If it feels heavy, confusing, or draining, it's not your path anymore. Misalignment creates frustration, even when you're doing everything right. I have to say that again. Come on. Misalignment creates frustration, even when you're doing everything right. So if you're feeling frustrated or even stagnant, realize that you're not in alignment. You're misaligned. So misaligned. You're misaligned. So you definitely want to get in alignment. Sometimes you're not behind. You're just being redirected. And that goes without saying. Sometimes we can often look at other people versions of their story and we're feeling like we're behind. But just keep in mind that it's your book. It's your story to play out. So never fall into that mindset of, I should be further along, or no. Sometimes there are definitely detours in the road that are necessary for your growth, but definitely don't allow it to knock you off your post. You've just been redirected, but just think of those places that may cause frustration or confusion, and you just might be out of sync with those places, so to speak. You've outgrown them. So don't miss your opportunity to align, and we're gonna keep on rolling.
Hey, I'll take alliance number 2. Your future requires a new version of you. All right, we can't always rock with the same old version that we've been rocking with.
That's it.
Situations change from year to year. New presidents, new economy. So we gotta switch up this flow and really realize how we're progressing and how we're growing as we're growing. A lot of people get lost in that. They really don't pay attention to what growth really looks like as you're growing. And that's vitally important, because like I said, you can be stuck in the same old rut because you're not growing mentally along with your finances, or your finances isn't growing right along with your mentality. All right. So really get aligned. That's where alignment comes in. Be aligned wholeheartedly with your financial situation, your mental situation, your household situation, friends, family. Everything has to be aligned on a progressive track and not a downward track. All right, we're preaching progression here, so let's progress. Let's keep the ball rolling. All right, you can't reach new levels with old patterns. You definitely can't. All right, those old patterns, they helped you at one point in time. They were a good little stepping stone at one point in time, but now we're on to the next one. All right, well, what is that? How are we going to elevate to those next steps? All right, what's that going to look like? All right, so like I said, you can't reach new levels when you're stuck on that same plateau. Your future is designed for your authentic self, not your people-pleasing one. All right, we're not in the business of people-pleasing anymore. All right, we might have started that in the beginning. We had to be the yes man, yes sir, nod your head and just go. No, we've grown past that. We've got the strength now. We're our own identity now. We're rolling. All right, so your future does not, it's begging for your authenticity, okay? Authenticity. Your authenticity, it's begging for it, all right? It needs it. We're not out here just trying to please other people's pockets, all right? We're trying to strengthen ours and get our mentality and our soul in one line, all right? Hey, that next season is already built. It's just waiting on a version of you that can handle it, all right? So like I said, that version of that you're seeing in your mind, it's waiting for you to catch up with yet, all right? it knows when it can transpire and when it can come along, and knows when that mentality is going to be able to handle what's going to come next. Not everybody be able to handle that millionaire lifestyle because you're not stuck. You're in a $2 mindset. You know, we toss $1 million to you, what you gonna do? You might fold, and you might go do something irresponsible with it, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to have that mindset to say, okay, I can handle this now. I'm gonna be responsible with whatever God blesses me with, and you know that takes a lot of growth, and it takes a lot of mental stability and mental discipline when it comes to thinking along that line. You know, because this alignment thing is very serious, especially when it hits. You know, it can hit full flesh, and then now everything you've been dreaming for and praying for, it's all hitting you. Boom, boom, boom. What you gonna do with it? Are you gonna get overwhelmed? And then you're gonna be like, oh, I need to take some off my plate. No, why? You asked for this. This is your opportunity. This is your gold mine. All right, so be ready when it hits. All right, stop asking for elevation you're not prepared to sustain. Okay?
Absolutely.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, be prepared. God answers. He may not answer when you want him to, but when he answers those prayers, there's going to be an overflow. Okay, so be ready. Keep your backbone steady. Keep your backbone tight and strong, because he's going to overload you now.
All right, right into point number 3. What alignment looks like in action. Oftentimes we talk about it, but we don't know what it looks like to walk it out. You're constantly busy, but have no peace. I know that we have touched on this in the last series about just being busy and not being productive. And so you're constantly busy, but you have no peace. You're chasing goals that don't even excite you anymore. And so this one definitely talks about, you know, you straying away from your purpose as well. Because I definitely feel like when you're operating in your purpose, you have passion for it. And so you're always going to drive from excitement because you're doing what you were created to do. And so you keep shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. One thing you do not want to do. I mean, if you were meant to shine, why keep dimming your light to enter into these dark places with people who have no light? You know, I like to share with people that you're an atmosphere changer, and so you shouldn't be allowing your atmosphere to change you. You're ignoring your intuition to stay in familiar places. One thing I know about intuition is always going to be your guiding light. And so oftentimes we just look over it because we do love the comfort of being in those people, around those people, or in those places, or even around those things that make us feel good. But in this alignment series, we're talking about being stretched, being moved, and getting to where we need to be so we can definitely live in those places that we're called to live in. And so if you find yourself in chaos and not in peace, and chasing goals that don't excite you, but they align with what the world see for you, then you're definitely out of alignment. Chase what's yours, what you know you would be grateful or appreciative or excited to do every day for the rest of your life. Get in alignment and make sure that you're living that thing out and it's an action item in your life.
Action items. I like that. I like that. Actionable items. All right, and that brings us right into number 4. Alignment unlocks access. All right. Doors open when you stop knocking on the wrong ones. All right. Huh? What did it say? Doors open when you stop knocking on the wrong ones. Knocking on head. Listen. Listen. That's so true, man. We wonder why all these doors keep slamming in our face or not even opening at all, because you don't need to be knocking on those doors. You know, that's not designed for you, or it's not your time yet, or you're already past it and you're strictly just knocking on 1C when you need to be knocking on 2B, you know? So we need to realize, hey, when these doors aren't opening, guess what? That wasn't meant for us. It's not our time for that. All right, let's continue to chase these actionable, these reachable goals now, and then, hey, guess what? It's going to become way more easier, and then we're going to be less frustrated because of our downfalls. We're not going to get defeated when a door doesn't open for us, because guess what? They got 10 other doors that's down the hall that you're not even knocking on, because you stuck thinking that there's a gold mine behind this one, but really the gold mine's down the hall and down to the left and to the right with Uncle Joe and Sam down there, and you down there with Billy Joe and them. All right. figuratively. Figuratively. All right, the right relationship, resources, and results come in alignment. All right, so that speaks for itself. Everything that's meant to be, your alignment, all those resources that you've been praying for, hoping for, and all those results that you've been dreaming about come with the right relationships. All right, they come with building that foundation, what we were speaking on previously. All right, if you got that right team in place, you got your right assets in place, you got everything locked in and you're building, guess what? The right relationship, the right person will skyrocket and boost you to places that you never even imagined that you can go. So
Absolutely.
you have to attract clarity when you stop settling for chaos, all right? We don't settle for chaos. Chaos, it means you're out of alignment, and that means that you need to take a step back, reassess, and think about where you're at, all right? Because we don't operate in chaos. Chaos only leads to stress, which kill you, and you staying in the position that you're in right now, all right? We want to elevate that and boost yourself past that, because your future isn't far. It's just waiting for you to walk towards it in truth, all right? We're walking towards that in truth, in our true self, in our true shell, who we really are, and it's going to get us there. And, the sky's the limit once we hit that plateau.
Going right into point number 5, alignment doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty. I know that you all have been hearing honest so much since first series up to now. And I definitely hope by now you are definitely living in your truth, because it's a requirement. And so again, alignment doesn't require perfection. It requires truth. And it also goes back to a tip or a nugget I shared previously, that it's not about perfection, it's about progression and about walking this thing out, so that you know what that honesty and that truth looks like. Stop waiting until you have it all together to take the next step. If truth be told, we'll never have it all together. It's all about putting the pieces together as you get them, so that you can fulfill the puzzle. And so start from where you are. Honesty accelerates healing and momentum. I love this, that I stole this from somewhere, but it says you can't heal what you don't reveal. And so oftentimes we like to keep things covered up, we bury them, and we're never honest, so we never heal or even gain the momentum or the traction that we need to see things come into fruition. And so just start where you are. Be truthful and honest enough with yourself to say, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but also realize that I'm not where I used to be. And then celebrate in that, so that you're always in alignment. Your future rewards the real you, not the filtered one. And it's funny because we'll get the likes and the applause on a filter from a social media outlet, because it makes my eye twinkle or this, that, and the third. But the true reward is posting up that picture with the flaws, and letting people see the real you. And so the future rewards the real you. The filter can only last for so long. Imperfect actions in alignment is more powerful than the perfect action in confusion. And so that is really good.
I like that.
So again, just driving from this place, I know my last point talked about confusion. As you can see, confusion leads to misalignment. But imperfect actions in alignment is powerful. So you definitely want to live in your power, live in your truth. And we got to continue to shake the earth. And the only way we're going to do that is to make sure that we have that healing, so that we can continue to drive that momentum.
You better say it. You better say it, sis. I like that. That'll lead us right into number 6. All right. Rewriting your vision through alignment. All right. Sometimes the dream needs to evolve to match the new you.
Absolutely.
All right. Sometimes that dream needs to evolve to match the new you. And like you said, that's that limited thought process. Okay. We're no longer limiting our thoughts. Now we're on to these grand schemes and these grand prizes and opportunities for ourselves. Envision it. What does that look like? Can you touch it? Can you taste it? Can you smell it? Can you see it? We need to be having these visions for ourselves that elevate our mind. Because when we boost our mind and elevate, your soul is excited. There's something in you that is overjoyed. That's where that excitement lies. If you set your goals too low, there's no excitement there. You're not really going to pursue anything. You're just going, oh, well, I could do it tomorrow. I've already done it. Set yourself for success and say, hey, we're going to go all out on this thing. Okay, we're chasing the alignment and we're chasing the bag. So let's get it. All right, a vision without alignment becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Okay, so let's not burden ourselves. All right, we have to have that vision, that true vision, like she spoke on, that true vision of ourselves, understanding who we are as a person, as an individual. When you can do that and you start to move within that, it becomes less of a burden and more of a blessing. All right,
Absolutely.
and the more aligned you are, the less forced your goals feel. Right. Let's go. Yeah, we're not forcing this. All right. Once we're aligned, like I said, it becomes natural, like the back of your hand. All right. Now you can move in it and operate in it with complete 100% certainty that you're moving in the right direction. You're not looking over your shoulder saying, dang, should I do this different? Or should I do that different? Should I talk to this person instead of that person? Should I pay for this instead of that? Oh man, on my last dollar and I spent it here, is it going to pan out? No, when you're moving in alignment, everything that you're doing is going to be working perfectly in your vision and moving you forward towards that goal that you have, okay? Because your vision isn't delayed. It's being restructured for better alignment, okay? So remember, it's all about how we're structuring our life and how we're visioning and how we're seeing our goals transpire in our life, okay?
All right, that brings us into number 7. Daily alignment creates long-term acceleration. This is so good because this one, daily alignment, it definitely takes you into discipline. Doing what is required of you even when you don't feel like it is that daily alignment.
Right.
Because it's that long-term momentum that's gonna be your driving force.
Mm-hmm.
Small daily decisions shape your future for more than big once-a-year goals. And so listen, small daily decisions shape your future more than just a big once-a-year goal. I know we have gotten accustomed to, and I hope everybody's gotten away from this, my New Year resolution. And we think about that New Year resolution for 6 months before we even take action on it.
Right.
And then some people, they never take action. I'll worry about that another time. Or even so, they'll start and they'll do 10 days strong, and before they can even get to the 21 days or 28 days to learn a new habit, guess what? Is non-existent. I'm comfortable where I am. I'm fine to where I am until that heart attack or that stroke. But small daily decisions shape your future. Take this thing one day at a time. What can I do today that will help prepare me for tomorrow? I know episodes ago I spoke about doing something today to make yesterday jealous, but just think about what can I do today to shape and mold my future to be what I need it to be. And then discipline becomes easy when it's tied to who you really are. If you are operating in your purpose, the things that you set out for yourself to do daily, it will not be a hassle. It will not be something that you feel is not attainable. It'll definitely be in your reach because you know those big goals that you spoke about, what it is that is at the end of the road. It's kind of like the leprechaun going for the pot of gold. What is your pot of gold? Consistency feels natural when it's rooted in alignment. And so you always want to go back to your center, your core. What does next look like? And whatever comes natural for me, then it should be easy for you to be consistent. We're not talking about being consistent in those bad habits and those old places that you've grown out of because you have a fear of stepping into the new. But the shave down, the version of you that's living in your truth, what does that look like? When your habits reflect your higher self, that's the self that we're talking about. Your future responds. And it's going to take, shedding all those old things that cause you to be something else. A few series ago, we talked about life happens, and when life happens, how it shapes us to be a certain individual. But then we talked about walking into your truth, walking into light, and becoming the rawest, cleanest version of yourself and living in your truth, and realizing that in your truth, you may lose individuals. What habits reflect your higher self? Who am I at my highest self? Who am I where I don't have to dim my light in order to be around individual? And then allow your future to respond. It's all about creating this thing daily. You can't say, oh, 5 years from now, I will be, if you're not operating or doing something today to change your tomorrow. It starts today. It starts right now. Literally right now, this very moment, you can make a decision to impact the rest of your life. And that's twofold. It can be good and it can be bad. So what will you choose in alignment to shape your future? What will you do to allow long-term momentum, long-term acceleration, where you will see the fruits of your labor long-term, where as we stated before, where it will bless generations to come, putting out generational blessings instead of curses. What will you do to be impactful? How will you change the culture? How will you change what's next?
How? Good stuff, good stuff. All right, that brings us right into number 8, walking into what's already yours. Ooh. Hey, walk into it. Let's bump into it. Let's run head first in these things that are already ours. Bust our head wide open with what's mine. That's what I want, all right? You're not waiting on a miracle. You're stepping into one, okay? So we're not sitting back waiting for it. No, we're stepping right on in. We're pushing a step forward into our blessings, like we spoke on earlier. Walking and running head first into those things, all right? Because this is what's for us, all right? So don't shy away from them. Run towards it, full steam. Because like I said, it comes with that alignment. Now, don't go into it misaligned. Because like I said, it can become overwhelming. But once you're aligned and you're stepping into your truth, man, run into that thing. Go get what's yours. You deserve it. You've been working hard for it this whole time, all right? So yeah. Reap what you sowed, okay? Your future is already written. It's just waiting on you to catch up, okay? Like I said, it goes right back to what we spoke on before. Catch up with yourself. Catch up with your dreams, all right? Don't let your dreams outpace you. You know, this is your race. You control it. You're 100% in the driver's seat of this thing. So if you start to feel like it's getting out of reach, reel it back in. You know, you don't got to feel like it's out of reach. No, you control this. So reel it back in and bring those blessings back to you, okay? And that comes with that alignment. That when you're in line, hey, you're able to do that. When you get out of that alignment, now you feel like you're in that rat race, and you know that they got the cheese dangling on your head, and you're steadily chasing it around a maze. You're never gonna catch the cheese, all right?
That's a good analogy.
All right. So your alignment doesn't rush because it knows what's coming is already done. All right. We're not in a rush game. We're not outpacing ourselves. We're not being uncomfortable with our pace. Like I said, we're pacing this thing. We're going at our speed because we know our speed is within that alignment that we've allowed ourselves. Okay, we're working in alignment, so now we don't have to rush. We can feel comfortable. We can sit back and relax, knowing you're doing enough. I don't care what nobody else is saying. I don't care what nobody else is doing on the internet. I don't care if they're running up 1 million views and you're sitting back like, how do I do that? Your time's coming.
Absolutely.
Sit back and build that foundation up. All right? Because right now your foundation may be on sand. And you know, when that storm comes through, you're going to start to sink. So build that foundation up on concrete. Build it up on whatever it needs to be, you know, something that you can build on for the future, for your kids, you know, for your kids' kids. All right, this is what we're doing. This is what we're grinding for. We're not just grinding for ourselves. We're grinding for our loved ones and our families. So take the time to really build this thing the way you want to and get aligned with yourself, okay? Everything changes the moment you decide to stop delaying who you were born to be, all right? I'll say it again. Everything changes the moment you decide to stop delaying who you were born to be.
I love that.
Okay? Hey, listen, if you got away from who you were born to be, guess what you can do? You can redirect yourself right back into it. You know, because this life is a game. I don't care what nobody says, life is a game, and you're in the driver's seat and you're in control of this thing. If you're stuck in that rut, guess what? You're keeping yourself there for no reason. All right? Redirect, reassess, and get yourself back on track. fast, okay? Fast, but in control.
Awesome. I definitely have loved these points. It definitely gave me some in the moment realignment because I had been missing some alignment. But I definitely love it. So, you know, as I stated in the beginning, you're not stuck. You're just not aligned yet. Hold on to your yet. I think oftentimes we forget about our yet and we just feel like, okay, I'm out of alignment. It's not going to happen for me. But as we stated before, right now, this very moment that you're hearing my voice, you have the opportunity to catapult and get into alignment. So this next chapter of your life isn't about grinding harder or chasing louder. It's about realignment. Getting quiet enough to hear what your future is calling you to become. You don't even understand. Being quiet is so profound because that's when you're able to hear the inner voice speak to you about things to come. So allow yourself to enter into that place of peace so that you can get into alignment. Once you align, you'll realize it was never out of reach. It was waiting on you all along. So that's the amazing piece of it all, that what is yours has always been waiting. You have just been running in the wrong direction. And so, man, once you just turn the curve and you realize that everything that I have been thought I've been waiting for, but everything I've been running from has been waiting on me. So that's beautiful. Man, my message to you would definitely be just get in alignment, hold on to your yet, realizing that your time is now. I know people like to say, I got next. No, you have now. I pass now to you because you got now. Get in alignment. You're not stuck. Get out of those comfort zones and get ready because it's time to take off.
Right. Your glow up about to blow up. But no, this has been an absolutely amazing series. I always hate to see them come to an end, you know, but hey, that's why you can go back and rewatch them. You know, you can watch them as many times as you want to. Run the views up for your peoples, you know?
Absolutely.
But yes, definitely go back. If you missed anything in the previous episodes, go back, jot down, take your notes, get a refresher, refresh that alignment, refresh that soul, you know? And just, you know, recenter yourself. But like you said, this has been a kick in the butt for me. This is a growing process. That's why we love these series that we're putting together, because as y'all are growing, we're growing right along with you. All right, so we'll be back next week with a fresh new series for you. I ain't gonna spill no tea or nothing for you, but we got something good for you guys coming up. So remember, keep dropping those likes. And drop them in the comments, anything that you want to see us do, or anything that you would love to, a topic that you would love us to cover. Because we'd love to start doing live sessions for you guys and start talking about some of your comments and some of your questions online, so we can add those into our series as well. So yeah, get interactive with us. We love talking to the people, and that's what we're here for. We're here to talk to y'all. We love y'all, and we're definitely here to help and inspire and change lives along the way. All right, so if you got any last tidbits for the people, we can go ahead and lock this thing in.
All I'm saying is you got now, not next. Stop going in the right direction so you can go and get what's yours. It's not out of reach. Remember, it's been waiting on you all along.
All along. All right. Well, we'll see y'all same time next week. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.